definitely want to have discussion about this because it's, there's some, I think, serious confusion about this. And so I don't know if Mr. Cantwell or Dr. Paramo, you want to just sort of talk through what this is and hopefully clarify some confusion.
This really is a combination of two distinct items that are being grouped together because they ultimately have one outcome, which is the change to salary schedules. The first aspect of this agenda item is a reclassification of 5 non-management, or CSEA or BTA positions, BASA positions, administrative positions. Last year, we began a process of copying the CSEA reclass process, allowing for our non-represented employees to be considered for reclass. That was a process that went through about 6 months of consideration last year. There were a number of individuals who received a reclassification based on either a gradual accretion of duties, which means a change of duties over time that no longer match their job description, or looking at an allocation study, which is looking at the way in which we compensate an individual position relative to other positions in the district. And so that work began last year, and this is really a completion of the BASA reclass. This is 5 positions that have been identified for either a change in job description because of change of duties or a reallocation based on a comparison of the other management positions that are comparable, looking at vertical and horizontal alignment. The second piece to this is the completion of what you... Okay.
Shar just had an aha moment.
The second element of this agenda item is really a completion of the update to the salary schedule based on board action on February 2nd. In February, you took action to approve a compensation increase for the 23-24 year for our CSEA and BASA members. However, the board directed staff the week of the board meeting to not give a retroactive increase to the individuals on the salary schedule it identified. And so those individuals did not participate in the raise that others were given this year. However, the intent was that they would be able to receive it moving forward. It was a elimination of the retroactive element of that. And so this is just to make sure that we align the salary schedule to the discussion and the AB 1200 that was submitted to the county back in February.
So just to clarify, the raises that are built in here are not new. They are many months old. We talked them through with BTA and CSEA leadership. This was about the people for whom these raises were meant. I can't English. Anyway, did not take them at our request in order to be able to correct Amuna, fully fund everybody else, so that when people see this, this is not aha brand new raises. This is almost a year late of what we were planning to do. I just think it's really important. There was definitely some confusion about whether or not this was a new raise and how could we be giving new raises. We are not. We are not.
Can I just add,
Please.
just as a point of evidence, when we filed the AB 1200 with the county back in February for the raises for BTA, CSEA, and BASA, we included in that document the raises for these folks moving forward starting July 1st, 2024. So that is just further evidence that this was agreed upon back in February, and this is not a new raise at all.
And I will say, and then Ms. Ponser-Kamkar and Ms. Tabbitt, we understand why people would be concerned about that. If you were looking down the barrel of possible furloughs and budget cuts, you would say, what is this new thing? So I'm glad we had the opportunity to clarify, got a couple of emails about it. And so the reason we're taking time, I think, is not to be defensive, but rather to say, we get why you would be concerned, but let us reassure you this is the process that took place. Ms. Ponser-Kamkar and then Ms. Tabbitt.
Thank you. And so this is all budget impact for next year's budget. Is there impact to this year's budget?
There's no impact. Again, unlike the other positions that received the raise this year, these individuals did not have a retroactive element to this increase, so there's no budgetary impact for 23-24.
So my issue was that I felt the two respective agreements should have been separate agenda items. The first one being a raise that affects the entire salary schedule by this 3.5%. The second portion, the reclassification of individuals, places them on the salary schedule, not necessarily affecting the salary schedule. The raise affects it, but replacement is a totally separate thing. So to me, they shouldn't have been placed together as an agenda item. They should have been two separate. That was my big aha moment, because I finally clicked in that the the reclassification comes from years ago. I mean really years ago, when we did a whole study on job duties, et cetera. With the amount of money that we had at that time to cover that, we didn't necessarily have enough money to do everybody, and we had to make qualifications long before you got here. The Ewing study, correct. We had to make qualifications of who was going to get salary adjustments at that point.
Correct.
And the agreement with the board and the superintendent at that time, as either, and I apologize for not remembering this specifically, either money became available or we were able to adjust a budget in such a way that there might be money available under that category, then we could look at particular jobs and reevaluate them, as we did with the Ewing study, on an ongoing basis, a few jobs. So that's what these jobs are. Am I correct in that?
I think that's an excellent explanation. I just want to make sure that we're clarifying they were not directly in the Ewing study,
Correct.
but exactly what you said is correct, though.
Okay.
Yep.
That means a whole huge difference to me than the perception from people is, wait, you just cut a whole bunch of jobs and now we're going to add more? So it was a long time discussion. Sorry, I didn't get that before. That it was my aha moment as Mr. Cantwell was explaining it. I went, of course, I was a part of that whole thing. So
Ms. Sponsor Camp Card.
anyway, I would prefer if the board, sorry, I keep going.
No, you're okay.
If the board is okay, that we really do look at it as two separate votes under the one agenda item.
Sure. Can we do that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm literally asking. Okay, great.
So-
Yeah, you can take
Sounds good to me.
distinct votes.
Okay.
I have a question and a comment. So I think the comment would just be that these job descriptions, right, were written kind of independent of who is either in the position or who would be in the position in the
And
future, right?
correct.
So they're not about putting the people in the
No,
position.
it's about the job position.
Right.
And categorizing it as based on what the current job looks like. As we eliminated positions or diminished departments, jobs had to be taken on.
Yeah.
So while I may have been hired to, at some point, to trim bushes, as a thing now, I'm not only trimming bushes, but I'm cutting grass and I'm edging. I'm being really simple. Obviously, there's, much more to that job than that. But now I'm doing so much more in that job description. So that job description has to change. And therefore, then the person in doing that job description, because as it fluctuates based on how many years they've been here, et cetera, is placed on the salary schedule.
Yes.
Okay.
And so then my
So-
question is, the last job description, I don't know if it's the last one anymore, the principal of alternative education. So that's going to be Monterey, ILA, SOAR, and Meg Park. Okay, got it. Just wanted to make sure I was clear on that. Thank you.
Good conversation, all. Okay, so if we're voting on them separately, do I need to move on that? So we're going to back up for a quick second then. I'll do it. So the first one is the approval of employee reclassification for certificated supervisors and classified supervisors and certificated assistant superintendents as amended. And classified superintendents as,
So you're doing the reclass first.
reclass first.
And then salary schedules. Okay.
Okay.
So you said it right.
Did
So
I?
for the reclass, it's only the approval of the employee reclassification. Everything after that "and" is related to the overall salary adjustments.
Thank you. So I need a motion and a second on the approval of employee reclassification as amended. Moved by Ms. Tabbitt, seconded by Ms. Ponser Kamkar. We just had a bunch of discussion. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. Sorry, I did not hear you say aye.
Oh, I did.
I believe.
Aye.
Okay, and now approval of, okay, I'm gonna figure it out. For, salary schedules is struck though. I got it. Approval of certificated supervisors and managers salary schedule A and classified supervisors and managers salary schedule B and certificated assistant superintendent salary schedule D and classified superintendent salary schedule E as amended.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Dr. Agakanian, seconded by Mr. Ferguson. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, motion carries 5-0. Okay. Acceptance of gifts, 11I. May I have a motion and a second?
Charlene
Moved by Ms. Tabbitt, seconded by Mr.
Armand.
Mr. Armand?
I thought it was Dr. Armand.
Dr. Mr. Armand? Okay, any discussion? Sweet.
You better do it exuberantly.
No. Okay. We should vote.
Yes.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, motion carries 5-0. The district would like to thank the following amazing human beings and organizations for their contribution to the district. Thank you to the Burbank Arts and Education Foundation for their donation to be used towards the purchase of new lunch tables for Luther Elementary. Thank you, thank you. Burbank Arts and Education Foundation, thank you for your donation to be used towards the library transformation at Disney Elementary, which if you haven't seen it, is awesome. You should go check it out. It's super, super cool. Thank you to Stevenson PTA for their donation to the district to be used towards field trip buses at Stevenson Elementary. Thank you to Dorian Photography for their donation to the district to be used as needed at Emerson Elementary. And finally, thank you again to Burbank Arts and Education Foundation for their donation to be used towards an outdoor classroom at Roosevelt Elementary. Thank you to everybody. No amount is too big or too small, and everything makes a difference. So, now, Char, this is the part where you get to talk about the fun, happy stuff. We're going to move to 12 reports from board members. Yes. Who would care to share the joy?
I have lots of joy. This is the best time of year because we get to celebrate students. Regardless, we celebrate students. Goodness. I started off, gosh, I've been around doing a lot of things, but some exciting things. The senior awards at John Burroughs last Monday night. Burbank Highs is Mondays. It's very, very exciting to see our young people come together and celebrate their successes and be awarded scholarships, etc., for their hard work. And for the community who gives us those scholarships, thank you very much to our students to come and share the joy with our students. One of our students who's been invited to come to the board meeting was at the Burroughs meeting. He is accepted a nomination to go to the Air Force Academy. Actually, there were two students going to the Air Force Academy. Frank Hernandez and Sarah, I know, I had it committed to memory, and I'm so sorry. Both of them will be headed to the Air Force Academy, which, if you're not familiar with, is a huge deal. It requires congressional letters of recommendation and approval. So it's kind of a big deal, but our young person, Frank, was not only accepted or granted a position at the Air Force Academy, but also the Army Academy at West Point and the Naval Academy at Annapolis. 3. That's huge. So congratulations to Frank and his mother, Dorothy. Big excitement, and Frank will be here hopefully at the next meeting to share his experience with us, because 1, yahoo, but 3? Wow. Yeah. Today, I think, was my 7th time joining the 5th graders at Edison Elementary for their etiquette lunch. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a nice event. It's so fun to sit. I got this year, I don't know why I keep getting put with young gentlemen, but I do. And we talk sports, and I love it. But we had a great time. Food was amazing. Thank you to our PTA who takes the time to put this together. And next year, when you get that letter, Mrs. Rudichenko, our Dr. Rudichenko and I were there today. This was her first one, and really? So I'm special? You are special. Anyway, it's been great fun, and it's been fun and appreciated, so. You were special too? Nice. Nice. And finally, I don't know, Mr. Ferguson, you may remember Rob Thomas, a custodian at Burbank High.
Yeah.
An amazing man. His wife, Dolores, just recently passed away. Tonight was her celebration of life. The Thomas family I was very close to. I coached their daughter, Terry, in softball for several years when she was in middle school. I coached softball for 22 years in the city of Burbank. So lots of kids went through my teams, but the Thomases were very special. I like to think that, as you go through life, you have role models and people you look up to. And Dolores Thomas was one of those women that I think helped to form my ability to be a parent, good or bad, but she was certainly a role model for me, and she raised an amazing daughter and grandchild and 2 great-grandchildren, and her loss will be terribly felt by many in this community. She and Rob were both outstanding community members, huge Burbank High School Bulldog supporters. I think Rob worked for us for 40 plus years. And it's those kinds of folks that make Burbank the home it is for many of us. And so I'm sorry that I missed the celebration of life tonight, but I just wanted the Thomas family to know how much Dolores touched my heart. So thank you very much.
And can we send them an adjournment certificate if that's all right?
Yes, please.
Great.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Mr. Ferguson, report. Ms. Sponsor Camp Car.
I have a couple. So I wanted to, first of all, thank Dr. Knapik and Jen Goldenberg and Rebecca Harris, because we are expanding the dual immersion program by an additional classroom next year.
Huge.
I am so excited about this. As you guys know, my son is entering kindergarten. He will be in dual immersion, and now all of his friends are going to be in dual immersion too. So we're really excited about that, and I think it's going to be really great for Disney. Speaking of Disney, don't go to the library now because they're replacing the floor. But at some point, go check out the library, and thank you, Burbank Arts and Education, for providing the really fun furniture that's in there. The other 2 things that I did over the last couple weeks were going to boroughs to sit in on the AP African American Studies final projects. I saw some really amazing things. I learned some things, which is always fun. And then just today, I had a meeting with Kim Whitman from the Phone Free Schools movement, and she's going to provide us with some. They're putting together an administrative toolkit that isn't quite ready, but I'm getting some draft materials from her, so that we can keep moving on that in preparation for next school year. Thank you.
Dr. Agakanian.
Short and sweet. Short and sweet. Went to the Boys and Girls Club gala. It was a lot of fun, and congratulations, Superintendent Doctor. Your new puppies, puppy or puppies? Puppy.
Puppy.
Now you have how many now? Three. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Well, congratulations. A great event as always. And last but not least, I did attend the Miller's Multicultural Family Festival. So again, I'm going to thank Dr. Kanapik for helping me start this. If you have not been to one of these, it gets bigger and bigger every year. And the performances this year, into the night when it got really cold, I mean, it was just amazing. And the food was just phenomenal. Thank you very much, and thank you for all the parents and who participated, and also faculty staff who stayed late. It was amazing. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay, couple quick things. Thank you to the amazing staff at Miller and the Rainbow Club for inviting me over to participate in the club meeting. Thank you to Assemblymember Friedman and Senior Field Rep Alondra Lopez for getting those beautiful certificates and allowing us to present them to the club president and all the club members. They were very excited. There was much revelry. Thank you to the library coordinators. I was able to go with Dr. Kanapik this morning to their end of the year meeting and just celebrate them, specifically the phenomenal Julie Grenet, who has let us know that she is retiring, which is a huge loss to the district. All of our library coordinators are phenomenal, and one of the things that we highlighted was that despite facing cuts as well, our elementary librarians centered our kids, and everything that they did showed up and were extraordinary as they worked through a really difficult time. I just want to give a shout out to all of the students in AP African American Studies for taking their exam and for completing this pilot year of a really exceptional class. And lastly, just a thank you to CTA and BTA, Nicole and Alex, who showed up really early on Monday morning to provide food to the staff at Hart as everybody struggled with their first day back after the loss of a beloved colleague. It was really powerful to see them there and to see them showing up for our community. So a big thank you to both of them for what they did on Monday and will continue to do. Okay. Sure.
I just want to also acknowledge, talking about great products from Burbank. We do have tonight with us one of our former students here, Tony Ordochanyan. Tony, how are you? Who is going to Berkeley, and if I'm wrong, you just became the president of the Senate or something over there, right? But anyways, talk about great products of Burbank. Hi, welcome back, Tony. Oh, I hope it's only for like 2 weeks. You're going back, right?
Going to Michigan, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, good to see you, Tony.
And while we're at it, let's shout out the other former Burbank grad who is now a paid staffer on an assembly campaign, and that's also awesome. Anybody else? No? Okay. All right. So, it's nice to be able to close out the night with the really positive, awesome things we were able to do and experience. I'm going to move to 13, the consent agenda. I need a motion and a second to approve items 13A through 13P. We are pulling 13Q and 13R through 13T as presented.
So moved.
Moved by Dr. Agakanian, seconded by Ms. Tabbitt. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Seeing no opposition, motion carries 5-0. Hold on. Oh, I need to read our retirement. We have two here. Thank you to Julie Davis, who has been with us since 2000. She is a teacher at heart. Thank you so much for your lengthy service. And also to Tina Nunez Tellez, who is a paraeducator in special education, who has been with Muir since 1994. That's an extraordinary commitment. So thank you to you both for everything you've done for us. We will adjourn in honor of Karen Lombardo at 9:36 p.m.